Mike, Eleven, and their friends have gone through many perils in the past 3 seasons. The kind of perils that no other kids in their town or any other town in the world have ever faced before. They have saved the world more than once and faced powers from other dimensions. But what if I told you that everything we've seen so far in Stranger Things is nothing compared to what's to come, and that the villain of Season 4 could be the most dangerous one yet? Want to know more? If you want to see videos, news, and everything related to the universe of Stranger Things, do not forget to subscribe and like this video. You are in Stranger Things Geeks. The theory that brings us to the day is one about a villain that we can find in a role-playing game called D&D. This role-playing game is present in Stranger Things since the first season. Just as the Demogorgon was explained through this role-playing game, also the next villain could be. The website Nerdist.com left us this theory that reads as follows. Stranger Things Season 4 might be drawing inspiration from one of the most terrifying creatures in all of Dungeons & Dragons' storied history. Stranger Things 4 will take us from the suburbs of Hawkins, Indiana, to the sub-zero temperatures of the snowy hinterlands of Kamchatka, Russia. We have already gone over the spoilerific teaser trailer with a fine-toothed comb and spun up a theory about which classic 1980s movie will serve as the 4th season's inspiration. But now it's time to turn our attention to the clues awaiting us in everyone's favorite tabletop role-playing game, Dungeons & Dragons. Nerdist News thoroughly analyzed every last detail in the trailer, and Michael Walsh expanded on that analysis with a theory about how Stranger Things 4 will draw inspiration from John Carpenter's classic 1982 Arctic horror movie, The Thing. Given this assumption, I found myself wondering which of the myriad monsters in Dungeons & Dragons' storied history could fit into this archetype, as well as the lore that has already been established. There are plenty of shape-shifting monstrosities that could inspire this season of Stranger Things, like the Doppelganger, the Mimic, or even a Rakshasa casting disguised self. But something tells me we're still a few seasons away from cat people casting magic spells. The answer, I believe, is within the pages of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, and in the spirit of Stranger Things, it fittingly enough came from the mind of a precocious child. The monster I'm talking about is a nightmarish, eldritch abomination with the name the Oblex. This theory proposed in Nerdist is an intriguing one, but what exactly is Oblex? Oblexes were extraordinarily intelligent oozes created by mind flayers that fed on other creatures' memories. They were capable of using those memories to create replicas of their victims, which they used to further hunt and feed. An Oblex wants memories, but not to serve any end of its own making. Oblexes are hungry for memories and personalities because they are empty without such nourishment. In this way, they serve their creators, the Illithids. An Oblex in the range of an Elder Brain's powers provides everything necessary for the Mind Flayers to find choice victims. Oblexes were attracted to sharp minds. They tended to prefer the minds of intelligent individuals, such as spellcasters. When finding a suitable individual, they proceed to briefly engulf their target's body, draining a portion of its memories when pulling away. An affected victim became drained and confused, having difficulty recalling or using any abilities. At the same time, the Oblex learned all of its victims' languages and abilities. Cunning hunters, Oblexes used their impersonation abilities to lure more victims into danger, or to attract better sources of nourishment. This is undoubtedly one of the most intriguing theories, as Oblexes could already be among them. One of the group could be impersonating the previous member, but really be one of these monsters. Perhaps the answer lies in Will. There are several theories that point to Will's character taking a similar stance to that of the wizards in D&D. Reddit user found a connection between Will and D&D. I quote, "We all know, at least all of us who see the series Beyond the Ships and Eleven's omnipresence, that from the beginning of the series, we are introduced to Will, who for some reason is always the target of the Upside Down, at least in the first 2 seasons. In the third, although he had a minor role, they showed us that the connection with Mind Flayer and with the Upside Down is still present, even after some time has passed. And they not only showed us that, but also showed us how important D&D is to Will as a means of escape, and how important the game will be in this season. Now, based on their roles in the game, we can say that Will in the campaign may be a wizard, but in the real-world version of the party, he is a different type of wizard, the cleric. With divinely appointed powers, clerics are in control of life and death, and are best known as healers. A cleric's power over death means that he can control various undead creatures. Once Will is possessed by the shadow monster, similar to a divine being, he gains the power of the Demodogs. Therefore, by showing us in Season 3 that he still has a connection with the Mind Flayer and the Upside Down in general, and based in some way on his role in the game, it could be said that perhaps Will on a more sensory level could lead to evolve that sensitivity he has with the creatures of the Upside Down and make it useful in some way, such as helping him in some way to realize that Hopper is alive, or perhaps rescuing him at some point. I am not talking about going to looking for him, but about a more mental help than anything else, and that he has the help of a person who has lived with powers all his life, and who now lives with him, Eleven. While to some this may seem crazy, I based my entire theory on particular details that have been seen in the series in a very obvious way. I will make a few points. That he can see Upside Down without being there. That is, travel with his mind there. In the second season, every time he got scared, he saw the Upside Down. That his connection with the Mind Flayer is so strong that even when it is not inside his body, he can feel not only where it is, but when it is activated or not. That in Season 3 they have focused so much on his passion with the game, and that for Season 4 the D&D is so important. And the most obvious to me, that it is specifically with the Byers that Eleven is going to live, after 3 seasons preventing these 2 characters from having a conversation, and now they are going to live together. Eleven, that although she has run out of powers, for now, she still knows how to control supernatural gifts, and that perhaps in that process, she will find a way to make them return. It is very long, and maybe for some it is crazy, but if you consider it silly, please give your opinion with respect. So, will Stranger Things gradually become more similar to D&D? The inspiration that they have taken from D&D for this series is obvious in our opinion, but I think that the new season will not be so supernatural, but it will be focused on the science of Dr. Brenner, but we already have a video of that. In the meantime, tell me, what do you think about the similarities between D&D and Stranger Things? Subscribe and turn on the notification bell because we will be uploading videos every day with the news of Stranger Things Season 4, theories, and rumors. You're in Stranger Things Geeks.